Yeah, welcome to our 45th edition of Mill Valley Film Festival. Could you imagine? 45th. I'm so happy. My team are really thrilled about our program tonight and for the whole lineup you have here. I'm João Federici. I'm the World Cinema Programmer and the Viva-vs-Goliath manager. For those who don't know about Viva-vs-Goliath is a program inside of our lineup that spotlights the best of the Latin American movies, the US Latinx stories, movies, and Latin American stories. It's a very important moment and really interesting to watch films that are to watch the best of the cinema Latino. After, as I said, watching hundreds of films and visiting or also attending festivals online, many festivals, we have here, I think, the best of the filmmaking this year, just for you. Yeah, and as Mill Valley could not happen without you and all with our incredible partners, I'd like to ask a big shout out to our sponsor of the night, Lucasfilm. Yeah, thank you Lucasfilm for always being such a great sponsor of the festival. So, let's talk about the film. Argentina 1985. It tells the history of a social and a political breaking point in Argentina's history. You might be surprised by how many lessons we can take from 1985 to today. Yes, take a look. Yeah. As we have a Q&A after the film, I'd love to call here for a few words the director and the writer, Santiago Mitre. Welcome, Santiago.
Hello. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
I love your Portuguese accent saying Argentina. It sounds very, very beautiful. We would say in my Argentinian accent, it will be Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah. Well, I'm very happy to be here. It's a real honor. I don't know what we will be talking afterwards, so I don't want to say much. But this is a film about a very important trial in Argentine history. It built the basis of the new democracy after the horrible dictatorship that we have from 1976 to 1983. It was the first time in history of justice that a civil court put on trial to the members of a military dictatorship. So it's an event that for us Argentinians is super important. And it makes us feel proud. Totally. But I don't want to overwhelm everyone with historical details because it's also an entertaining film, and that deals with justice, everyday heroes, and with democracy. That it's something that we need to keep on fighting for. We see that everywhere in the world. It's been growing so much, speeches that seem to not respect democracy as it should. So I think this film is more relevant for today than we thought when we were doing it. So
I had no doubt.
So
yeah.
I'll be here to speak afterwards. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you later. And please stick around for the Q&A. Have a good show. Thank you. Santiago Mitre.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for accepting our invitation.
My pleasure.
I kind of forget how, when I watched the first time, and now, how you make me cry and laugh during such tender moments. And I need to say thank you for such impressive and important portrait of this breakpoint of Argentina history. Argentina 1984-85 is citing our sense of justice and the lessons accountability under democracy are never far behind. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I forgot in the introduction, I wanted to thank to Laura Hirschberg, who is around here, I hope. She was the mixer of the film, and she did an amazing work.
Oh,
and
great.
So, Laura, please, thank you. She's there.
Yeah. Santiago, I know that Argentina, like any other country, many other countries in South America, fought for years against the dictatorship governments. And you grew up in a democracy.
No,
you born during the dictatorship.
Yeah.
What are your memories from that time?
Well, I know I was very young, and I was born in the 1980. So I don't have memories of the dictatorship, and not about the trial either. But my mother worked in the justice her whole life. And so I was raised in the values of the importance of justice to build democracy and the importance of justice for the society. And well, she knew Strassera,
oh, cool.
the real one. So she told me stories about him. So I always had in my mind the idea of working on a film about this subject and about Strassera, because I knew how well, such a character he was. You know, what you see in the film, it's of course a fiction that it's working on true events, and it's well, a recreation of everything. But there's many things about the character, and many small situations about well, this character, the Strassera, that are real, and the people during the research, or my mother told me. I mean, he was a grumpy guy, always complaining about everything, but with a big sense of humor. And all that silly things that you see him doing during the film, many of them are actually true. I mean, we were dealing with this event, which is so important and so dramatic, but we had a person, a character, that had a sense of humor. So it was something that we knew that we could use for the film. I don't know if it was to compensate the horror or whatever, but it was something that the film could bring also, you know, to tell the story, and all the people that work with him, because I had the opportunity to talk with with Luis Moreno Ocampo, who is his deputy prosecutor, and those young people that work with him in the trial, and everybody was telling about this funny, grumpy character of Strassera.
And these memories or stories that your mother told you, do you think helping you to put it all together? And how do you come up with the idea? When?
Well, I don't know.
I know that is a long time ago. Now that you were...
because the idea, I don't know. I probably have it, for instance, in my whole life. But at some point, I decided it was a good moment to do a film. So I started to do the research and to deal with this subject, which is, well, it's not only the trial, because the trial is the... it was the way to
one part, it
was the way to heal the wounds of the dictatorship. So it was dealing also with how to talk about the dictatorship in a positive way, in a way, because it's something that I mean, not many countries in the region and in the world could do this, you know. So it's something that when I spoke to the people that did the trial, when they were talking to me about this trial, they were smiling, they were happy that they could achieve this, you know, that the country could do this. So it's, I knew that I had to do a film that represent that idea, that was a little bit, I wouldn't say optimistic, but yeah, optimistic, that something that went good. And in my country, there's not many things that that go good. So it was. I understood that the film should breathe that the same feeling that the people who were talking to me about the trial were trying to tell me. This, we succeeded on this, and this is something that we feel proud about. Yeah.
People proud. Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried that the film could express that feeling.
Interesting. And I think this was a long process to searching, researching everything, because I was reading, also curious about, and I saw something that Norway has 147 VHS that are from that I don't know if that's true. I've read in Google. You know, and but I'd like it. How was the process? How, because Mariano Linas,
yeah,
Ginas. Wrote, Ginas, and read with you.
He's
your co-writer.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, and how you guys work in this? How was this?
Well, we started to.
Long,
I had the idea on doing this film for many years ago, and then well, at some point I decided I was going to do it, and I spoke to Mariano, who is my usual co-writer, and he's also a director, and that I wanted to do this, and we started to develop a story on what we knew about the trial. And we wrote something, and then I spoke to one of my producers, who's Axel Kuchevaski, who's a great friend now, and he told me it was shit. And I didn't took it very well at the first time, but then I thought he was right, and I threw everything away, and I understood I need to go right to the research and to talk to everyone who was involved in this trial, and to read everything that was published on the trial. And we did a very, very long research, talking to everyone, like judges, witnesses, reporters who were covering the trial, and of course the people who are running the investigation. And it was a very, very, very interesting process. But then, and it took us like, I don't know, a year and a half, all that, yeah. But then once you know a lot about the subject, and it's difficult also, you know, because then you have to do a film, and the film has to be good, and it has to have has to bring the cinematic experience. So the subject don't need to overwhelm you in a way. So it's a difficult tension, you know, between on how you how you be respectful and to give all the thing to tell all the things that we learned about the process, but also make a good film that it works with with the elements that cinema needs to work, you know. Yeah. So it was something difficult to do, but then we took the decision with Mariano that okay, we're doing a film, and if we want to express what this trial is, we need first of all, to do a good film.
Which I think you did. Come on.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Come on. This is
but then
it's a masterpiece.
But then you understand that if you're being honest and respectful with the people, with the subject, and with cinema, it's the best way to do it. You know, it's everything at the same point. Yeah. But then so we wrote the script, and we tried to think in the tradition of this trial cinema, or this classical sort of building a story, which was a good thing to bring alive this trial. You know, and then after we wrote the first draft, which then the producer thought it was good, we went back to our research and check again where we were maybe needing more detail or more research, and we kept on doing both sides.
Yeah. But back to the production.
Yeah.
You shout out your friend here that it's the crew, and I want to say that it's amazing, man. You did a great movie. It's a masterpiece. It's the characterization. Now the period assembly, the art design and costumes is spotless. I think that do you want to talk a little bit to take the opportunity that you have, how you put together your team?
Well, well, yeah, I feel very proud of the film. I like very much how it looks, but I'm also very proud that it's the same people that I've been doing films since since film school. Most of them, you know, the art director, the producer, the DOP. They are my friends, and we have been doing. My first film was only $15,000, and they are the same guys who are doing this film with me now. So it's like we've been becoming more professionals and learning how to work with image better. But it's like we are a team, and so it's something that I'm. Well, cinema is like that, you know. I don't believe in the. Well, of course, directors are important, and to have a good script is important. But it's also important to build like a true collaboration with the people you work with.
It's impossible to see your hand.
But in this case, it was. I mean, we need to recreate the '80s. That I was born in the '80s, so I thought the '80s are right away, but no, they are very far away, and the city is totally different than it was in the '80s. So the art department, the production designing department did a great job to bring back this atmosphere of the '80s in Argentina. We were very worried about how the film should look, and I would say the thing that was most useful for us was the pictures of the period. Like we used like the
land.
No, they like the photographs of the period,
because is incredible.
Yeah,
the texture. Sometimes you see that it's kind of you are watching a real 80s film, you know. Yeah,
we tried to recreate this texture, and Javier, my DOP, well, he was with a camera, with an old camera, taking photos of all the shots that we did with film, so that then we have the reference when we're color grading to have to bring the image to that, I don't know how to say, to a same reaction that the film could have, you know. So it was interesting. And the other thing, one of the main sources we used during the research was the real tapes from the trial, because the whole trial was taped, and it was taped in these old U-matic cameras. From the '80s, and and Javier also had a good idea, because I knew that we wanted to use this footage at some point, but we didn't know how to use it, because I wanted to use it in an organic way, not be interrupting for the narrative, you know. So we built a system for the moment when the witnesses were talking. We were shooting there's something interesting that I would like to say, that all the trial is shot at the moment, because it was so dangerous for the people who was giving testimony to give testimony, because the people who kidnapped them were still free at that moment, you know. So the decision that the judges took was to shoot them only from the back, not see the faces.
Yes.
Because if they shot the faces, and then in the newspapers or in the TV, somebody could recognize them, and it could be dangerous. So when we decided how to portray at this moment that testimonies, we knew that we needed to shoot what was not seen at the moment. That was the reaction of these people telling for the first time to the Argentinian society and to the world, and to see the faces and the pain and well, and frightened they were, how frightened they were, and how painful it was to tell it. So we decided to shoot to see the faces. But then I also knew that I wanted to use a lot of the original footage, and we were using also the Umatic cameras in the same point of view that they were in the original register of the trial, so that we could use our recreation of the trial, and then go to a sort of fake archive, which gave us the possibility of going to the real archive. So during the whole film, that part, we are mixing the recreation of the testimony, which most of them are with the exact same words that the witnesses use at the moment. This fake archive, and then the real archive of people who gave testimony at the time, which was only possible because we were able to shoot in the real courtroom where the trial happened, which was something very important that we could use.
The same venue, no?
Yeah, it was amazing to be able to shoot there. Yeah, it was difficult because it's a courtroom that it's used for other purposes, but luckily they let us shoot there for 2 weeks during the nights. And we could mix and good. Well, it's important to give the sensation that to show that this really happened like this, and these people are telling what happened for real, even if we're doing a film and the film is using the cinematic ways of cinema. But at some point, it's a testimony. So. I don't know. Yeah, I lost in my answer. Sorry.
Let's talk about your casting.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What a fortunate you are to have this great to put together these big, great actors. I know. I went to Argentina to watch them in the theater many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that Ricardo Darin is your second time working with him, and the first time you worked in the summit.
Yes.
That is more fiction than this is a fact.
Well,
yeah. And how was this new collaboration with him? He's fantastic.
Ricardo is great.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I couldn't be more fan of him, and I have been a fan of his work since my big part of my life, and then I had the opportunity to work with him, and yeah, I love him. He's great. And he was the first person I told him I wanted to do a film about this subject, and he told me immediately, I'm doing Strassera.
Strassera.
Okay, Ricardo, if you want to, you will have to do a casting. Yeah. No. And then Ricardo is a very, I don't know if you have seen it in other films, but he's a very well-respected actor in Argentina, and he can really choose what to do. But so he told me that as a way of encouraging me on doing this film. So then he needed to read the script, and luckily he read the script and he liked it, and he also got involved as a producer of the film. So we worked very close during the whole process of this film. And he's magnificent, and he's a very, beside his talent as an actor, he's a person who really understands cinema in its whole aspect, and he was my main collaborator on thinking about the film.
Yeah,
yeah. But the rest of the casting was amazing. And my sister, who I love her, she's the casting director, and she did a great job. And this film was done in pandemic, which was very difficult.
Yeah.
We were not able to do castings for real. Everything was Zoom castings, so it was insane to
What about the boy?
Yeah, the boy. Yeah.
Yeah. What
the boy, as many people tell in this kind of situation, it was the first boy that we saw during the casting.
Funny.
Yeah, he was the first one, and we saw the casting and we said, well, he's great, but maybe we're going to find someone better. And we kept on doing castings and watching boys, and at some point I say, okay, you have it on the first, why have to do 20 takes? But, well, we did 20 takes, and luckily the boy is it's amazing.
Yeah. The film had its world premiere in Venice.
Yes.
Winning the Federici.
Yes.
Yeah. And more recently, I saw you there, San Sebastian.
Yes.
And the award where it won the audience award.
Yeah, Federici,
Yes.
the critics and the audience, which is good.
Really
Don't always
important.
happen.
Yeah. And I'm curious, I think all of us, because I know that the film is a huge success now in Argentina. And how is the audiences internationally, that we've been attending? How it's being received in other countries and mainly in Argentina?
Well, in Argentina it's working very good. It's working. It's an event that it's a little bit over cinema. I have to say with no modesty, because people is going like madly to the cinema. All the screenings are full, and it's the best box office hit, which it's not something that we were expecting, but it's I don't know how to think about that. It's like because this trial is such as I said before, such an important event, and we Argentinians are so like divided that to find something that we all can understand that it's important. It's a symbol, and people are understanding it that way. You know, that like the way that Argentina fought for the human rights. It's and the way they did justice. It's something that we all need to feel very proud. So it's a point of where everybody can understand it. We did it. We did it good. So it's very beautiful what is happening, because the people are they applause. They say applause. Well, yeah, they applause after the Strassera speech in every screening. So it's like a weird event coming from a film that people is getting involved. But it's also very surprising and very interesting that the film is. The screens we did in Spain and the ones we did in Venezia and also in other places, it's I mean, every country has its own tragedy, and not many countries could do justice, you know, and how important it is to do justice with these tragedies, to consolidate democracy. So in Spain, because they didn't judge the crimes of the franquismo, they can reflect themselves on the film in a very direct way, and they can feel what the country needs to heal their wounds. So it's very special, and I understand the film is a lot more universal than what I thought before doing it. After attending on screenings in many places in the world already.
Yeah, I think this connects with what we are saying, because the Academy of Motion Pictures and Science of Argentina picked the film as a country submission for best international feature for Oscars 2023. Yes.
You are going there.
What do you think it means for the film and for the country? You know, because it's a really important moment.
Wow, it's difficult to say, because the more we can amplify the values of the film, and this. well, film festivals and recognitions like the ones we had in Venezia or the one we had in San Sebastian, or our country selecting the film to be the representative on the Oscars. It's well, it's great to make the film more visible in other places in the world. So it's it's what we want and what we expect, and so it's amazing, and I hope that we can keep on showing the film the more we can. Well, because these film festivals and these kinds of awards are more important nowadays, because it's like it's the way of showing, well, diversity of when we speak about diversity and we speak about memories, like cinema does a great job, and people is like, after the lockdown of the COVID and everything, we are so locked in ourselves that I think that film festivals and awards are a great place to bring diversity to places and amplify the ways that people is looking to the world. So I think it's an important event, and I'm very happy that we are having this opportunity.
It's kind of personal,
Okay,
because we are
living
in a world that is really, you can see that back sometimes, no? And I'm living as a Brazilian. It's happening in Brazil right now, a really step back. We see here we have another film. We're talking about this, the Chile 1976, another terrible moment for Chile in Pinochet. And we are here talking about the new era of Alfonsine when he became the Democrat. Do you think our democracy is at risk?
Yes, I think so. I would like to think that that it's not, but you never have to take democracy for granted, because you can see everywhere in the world that how these anti-democratic speeches are growing in many places, and that young people have speeches that are anti-democrat. So it's something that that worried me a lot. And I think one of the things that it was more important for me with this film is that I saw so many young people not like, I don't know, banalizing a little bit the dictatorship. So it was sad, you know, that so I thought that we needed to do a film like this was important for the young generations to keep on the memory that how we achieved to build a democracy in Argentina, and how hard it was, and also I think the more inspirational part I had during the research was when I realized that Strassera needed to go to look for these young lawyers, and because nobody in the justice, because they were part of the dictatorship, or they were afraid that the democracy could be in risk if the trial was going to go too far. But I thought it was like a great image to give to the world that. Well, this old prosecutor who did not do enough, it has a new opportunity, but this new opportunity came surrounded by young people, and I think it's a good image, a good symbol to bring as in a cinematic experience. You know, that changes are with experience, but also with use. And you have to look at the young people who are the people who are going to probably lead the changes in the future. So it was important for me that, yeah.
Cool. And what's the next for? I know that we have a lot in front of you with the film yet.
Yeah.
But what's the next? What you can wait for you the next?
No, I don't know. I'm writing, but I don't know where it will lead me. Yeah, at the moment. So no projects.
Okay.
Yeah, I will see. Well,
Oh, I'd love to be here talking more and more, and thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Santiago, for being here tonight. Okay, and thanks for accepting our invitation.
no, thank you very much.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
been a
yeah.
pleasure.